Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy the way that this is going on.
Did you see my live earlier?
No,
Oh, we're
what?
live. You did it to me. You did it.
Like flash, cold grinding, winds blowing tough. Chicago nights burn the grid on rough. Adam Mason roars with the fire inside. Passion-filled strikes breaking through the tide. Bear down, rise up, feel the thunder rolling. Bears pride from the heart, no one's controlling. Claw your way through the roar of the crowd. Bear down, sports making Chicago proud.
Well, Adam.
This is going to be an interesting dynamic. You've already gotten me.
Well. Little payback, right? I've got the tools now. I'm driving the car this time.
I like
Welcome in, everyone, to a very fun, hopeful at least episode. You guys are pouring in. This is Bears Country Productions. This is not Bears Country Podcast. I'm not Dan. He's not Foster. He might be Foster. I don't even know at this point what's going on.
I hope to get as old as Foster.
Yeah, I mean, we all do, right? He's lived many millennium at this point. So, anyway, I don't know if we should start with this, if we even want to talk about it. I have a feeling you don't even want to talk about this, but the obvious news that has nothing to do with the title of the YouTube video, the thumbnail has nothing to do with anything, right? The Ravens did a thing. The Ravens did a crazy thing. And all of a sudden, a very ginger defensive end who is a gold jacket to be defensive end, Maxx Crosby, Oakland's finest, will be returning to Oakland, Adam? What's your immediate reaction to this?
I don't live in Oakland, Carl. When I look out that window, I see the Raiders practice facility right there. It's right there, out that window. Boom. I don't live in Oakland. You're disrespectful.
Do you see the man with the stick and the white satchel just walking back to that stadium right now? Like, what's going on?
The stick and the white
insanity.
satchel. I've never seen Maxx Crosby. I've never met Maxx Crosby, but can I give you some insider information for BCP? Is this exciting for you?
Well, I don't know if it's news to me after the spiel I've heard, but go for it. Let's hear what you got.
I've told you I have a friend that is a high-profile realtor in Vegas who is friends with the inner circle of Maxx. That is truth. And I've told you a couple of things. I have no insider information, but I texted my friend today who's a high-profile realtor after this news broke, and I said, "What do you know about Maxx?" He hasn't responded to me. That's all I got. That's all I got for you, Carl. That's breaking news.
So what did we learn from the last time that we did a show over on the lovely Bear Down Sports YouTube channel? We learned that even though a very wealthy human is not potentially listing their house, and we have no idea where that address is, right? We can't reverse look that up. We don't know where that house is, right? Don't care if the house isn't for sale, Adam.
I don't
know for a fact that a player can still be traded. Even if that player goes onto his YouTube channel, says goodbye to that fan base, says I'm going to come back and retire. Well, we didn't know he was never not going to leave to begin with. So I'm going to throw up this tweet, and maybe not my favorite individual. By the way, just kind of thinking out on the fly here, would you co-sign off on some sort of tier list for like news credibility, journalists, Twitter shenanigans? If I put one together,
I know where you're going at with this. Yeah, well, that would be fun. I would have a good time.
Okay, we might have to do a tier list. Yeah, I might do a tier list. I think that's a great one, actually. Yeah. We're gonna do that. Don't worry about that, chat. We're gonna do that one anyway. That
would be fun.
Mr. Albert Breer. We're not gonna beat around the bush here, right? Maxx Crosby, and why did this happen, chat? The Ravens backed out. It was the Ravens' decision to say, wow, this medical is garbage. Let's pull out. Let's get our first-round picks back. Let's see if the Ravens can still pay Tyler Linderbaum $28 million, $30 million a year, right? So Albert Breer states, this puts the Oakland Raiders in a very incredible, difficult situation. They lose the picks. They have a bunch of deals to be finalized tomorrow, and my God, there were quite a lot of them, Adam. And the assumption is that Maxx Crosby was gone with these deals in mind. Now they have to turn and trade him all over again. And that's the key. I agree with this. I still think that Oakland absolutely has to trade him.
Can I give you? I'm going to try to keep my down to earth take, even though it's fun to be on BCP. I enjoy being on your channel more than doing my own. Teams knew, and this is exactly what you just heard Tom Pelissaro and the insiders on NFL Network just say. Teams knew he had surgery in January. That's nothing new. 32 different teams will have a different level of acceptability of where his injury is at this period, having his surgery in January. Obviously, he's not going to be fully healed right now. There's going to be a timeline for that return. Baltimore had a level of uncomfortability at this point with where that was, and they said, we're going to back out of this before it's too late. We're not comfortable sending those 2 firsts. There were at least 6 teams, according to rumors, that were in on Maxx. From what I understand, the Bears were not legitimately one of them from credible sources.
Well, you're going to continue to layer this story, right? Peel your story back, onion, layer, onion, whatever I'm saying. I heard that the Chicago Bears were actually within that range, and it got to the point where I think they ended up 3rd. They were give up.
That's rumor. I mean, if we're going to talk credible sources, there was no credible source that the Bears had actually offered picks.
Maybe I put my foot in my mouth, right? I heard this, I think, on the way home from work from ESPN 1000, and maybe that's the very last time, chat, that I will ever credit Disney.
What do you say about Disney? You do this all the time. You say Disney, woke Disney is the problem, Carl. Come on.
Oh, I didn't even say the W word, Adam. I didn't even want to go there.
On Twitter. You did on Twitter. So, do the Bears have any interest in Maxx? Of course, every team's going to have interest in Maxx. Are the Bears making moves right now that line up to Maxx Crosby? I'd say no, but it's fun to dream about. It's fun to think about. It's fun to, but with what you just said, I'll hit that point. Yeah, how do you bring Maxx Crosby back after already having traded him? The goodwill is gone. You've got to trade him now, but teams are going to take advantage of that. They're not going to give 2 firsts. Teams are going to negotiate. This will probably be drug out. This isn't going to be something that's going to be resolved in the next week. Teams are going to want to push it up towards the draft, get as close to the draft, see him have some more healing time, another month of healing time. And then, so Bears Twitter is going to be annoying AF for the next month. Like it's going to drag out. This thing will drag out.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the one thing that immediately came to my mind was that the Dallas Cowboys were, in my opinion, the clear-cut second runner-up, and they made a move to acquire an edge rusher. Admittedly, whether he's from Michigan or not, Adam, Rashawn Gary is not that good.
They back out of that.
They were able to acquire him for a 4th-round pick. There are ripple effects that this could go.
Yeah.
So, again, I agree. I think we're on the same page in the sense that Maxx Crosby will not be playing for Oakland, Las Vegas, or wherever the hell the Raiders are next year. And the issue is, how can you recoup and recover? You said something about love lost. I mean, I know for a fact that Crosby is the one who wanted out of this to begin with. I think Oakland could have made it work. Whatever Crosby says, it's akin to a politician. He's lying.
He wants out of the trade to Baltimore, or he wants out of Vegas? You mean?
He wants out of Vegas. I'm certain of it.
I get what you're saying.
I think that
I thought you meant he wanted out of the trade to Baltimore.
No, that would be wild. I think that his lip service to Las Vegas and their fans is genuine. I think that he's a stand-up guy. I think that he really, really enjoys his time with those fans in that community, all that good stuff. But he sees the writing on the wall in the sense that he's not going to be able to win, and he might even, this may have accelerated with that knee injury. He might know, like, hey, I'm not getting any healthier, all these things.
Well, the
one way to get traded out of there.
The one way Vegas can recoup this whole thing and keep him is the fact that he did what he did after he got traded, and he went on, and made a statement, is sitting there and saying, you know what, Raider Nation, I will always bleed silver and black. I want to come back at the end of this, at the end of my career, and retire as a Las Vegas Raider. That's what my desire is. Him doing that could be the thing that saves face, and the Raiders say, you know what, we'll keep him. I mean, there is a small avenue there, but there's got to be a little bit of love lost. There's got to be a little bit of damage control done there. That's the path it goes.
This whole can of worms started when Oakland decided to sit down Maxx Crosby, who could have played in a situation where if the Raiders win a football game, they go to the playoffs, all these things. They were trying to get the first overall pick. So they sat their player down.
He needed the surgery too.
Yeah, he did get the surgery.
He needed
But
it.
he failed the physical, or at least the Ravens didn't feel comfortable accepting that risk associated with it, I think is the best way to put that. So again, we've devolved that situation from the Raiders getting 2 first-round picks. Dallas, of all teams, didn't even want to match that. So now it becomes what the asking price is. And I agree with you. It's going to get drug out. It's not going to be resolved this week. I don't know if this is a draft day scenario or if it's an after the draft. We've assessed what we need. The draft didn't fall our way. How can we acquire Maxx Crosby?
That's even cheaper.
The Raiders don't want that. The Raiders want to draft Makai Lemon, whoever they want to pair with Mendoza. So what are the ripple effects? Are Dallas going to back out? Would the Bears be so bold as to rescind their offer from Buffalo and try and make that happen? My original thought. It's possible, very much so not probable, and probably not even something that I want at this point.
I can't see any avenue where the Bears back out of the deal with DJ Moore because they got such good value for that. I mean, you look at not even A.J. Brown can't be traded now. The Bears back out of the DJ Moore trade, and they've got a salary cap issue of their own on their hands. We're way over the cap if we don't unload DJ Moore's contract. We can restructure. Right. I get it.
Right.
But that is something that only benefit. There's no reason we'd want to back out of DJ Moore's trade. Maybe use that pick to try to go after Maxx. And I'm not saying I don't think there's any avenue. If you give me betting odds, I would put my mortgage on the fact that we don't land Maxx Crosby. But if you're going to do something to get him, you could use that pick to try to go after him, pick number 60, and say, you know what, we'll give our first and that pick 60, and next year's second, let's use that and let's go after him.
Right. And again, maybe it's not that unplausible that the Bears could trade 60 straight up for Maxx Crosby. I doubt that. I think I want to kind of pivot off of that.
Maybe Ryan Poles, here's a fun little twist. Maybe Ryan Poles goes to the league office and says to the NFL, hey, you screwed us out of our comp picks. Give us the comp picks, and we'll use them both to go get Maxx Crosby. It's good for the NFL. It's good for everybody. Let's do it. New angle to get our comp picks back.
Yeah. Again, last time I'll ever reference Disney in my lifetime. I mean, Courtney Cronin was actually right. Very upsetting stuff. Honestly, isn't even a topic I want to discuss because we knew what the facts were, what was reported. And then apparently there was this soft appeal that wasn't actually an appeal. It's just total hogwash, and I feel like that topic doesn't deserve the oxygen because it's literally that embarrassing, that frustrating. Don't know if I want to drop the R word. It's insanity. Anyway, I would love to hear Adam Mason's take the temperature on the moves that we actually have made, right? Nothing official. This is called the legal tampering period. Today is Tuesday, March 10th. And I believe these deals cannot be signed. Ink cannot be put onto paper until tomorrow, the 11th.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Yep.
Okay. So we know some players.
1 p.m. my time. Sorry, 4 p.m. Eastern.
We know some players we have agreed to contracts with. I don't know if you kind of want to just start by giving us which players you like, dislike, or if you kind of want me to guide us through. Very important show for the record, everyone.
Yeah, you asked me on players, and I'm on open book. I think this has gone exactly according to how I said the offseason. I mean, not to float my own boat, but this is exactly what I said. People got overhyped over it, and they said we wouldn't be cost controlled. We would be going big game hunting, and we've gone extremely value contracts, doing a very methodical approach that helps us build through the draft, but supplement the team. We're at 62 players now on the 90-man roster, and it's going exactly according to how Ryan Poles said it would go at the combine. So nothing that's crazy. I mean, no big time splashes, but some very high level players so far to be excited about. I mean, no game wreckers, no Maxx Crosbys, no Trey Hendricksons, but obviously the biggest splashes so far are on the defensive side with, I'm trying to think of his name, the defensive back from Seattle, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, yes.
And then obviously Devin Bush as well. Those are the two biggest ones. Yeah. But other than that, it's really just replacing some of our rotational backup type of guys. And we got some big question marks still to fill. Strong safety still to fill. Defensive tackle, defensive end. So there's still some big things to be done, but filling some important roles on the team to get to where the team needs to be.
Okay. Let's jump off here into the micro. You started with Kobe Bryant. He wasn't
Yep.
the actual first player that the Bears agreed to a contract to. They agreed to a contract with, I believe the last name is Gallimore. Love that philosophy for the record with the Gallimore signing, right? It did not work with Al-Quadin Muhammad. It sure as heck did not work with Dayo Odengbo. Why not go after another mediocre defensive lineman from Indianapolis? Why not?
Are you saying a motivated Dayo Odengbo won't change this roster?
I think that you should have cut Dayo Odengbo as he was getting injured.
That's blasphemy, Carl. A motivated Dayo Odengbo is going to change the dynamics of this team inside and out. We are going to be a game wrecker when he comes back from his injury.
So I can paraphrase. I think I'm able to piece together your opinions pretty well at this point.
Okay.
Your opinion on Gallimore, specifically from Indianapolis, is that
Neville
he is an
Gallimore.
upgrade to Mr. Andrew Billings at defensive tackle 4?
So we've signed 2 defensive tackles, Neville Gallimore and
Start with Neville. We're going to go on the micro here. Neville Gallimore only.
So I'm just lumping them together to say they're both better than Andrew Billings and Chris Williams. So you're looking at our backups last year. You have Chris Williams and you have Andrew Billings. And what we've done is upgraded, defensive tackle 4 and 5 is what it really should be, but we've had some injuries. So defensive tackle 4 and 5, both upgraded from last year. We can stop the run with Neville Gallimore. You can stop the run better. Yes, he got more pressure, and I think a lot of people are just looking at PFF and saying, well, he had a better pass rush grade. Well, he can pass rush, but what he's known for is being more of a gap filler that holds his integrity in the gap assignments to let the linebackers do their job. So he had a 1.9 average depth of tackle. So that's better than anybody else that was a defensive tackle on the team last year. Better than
What, no
Grady
super
Jarrett,
chats?
better than
Interesting. Yeah. So chat, Mr. Adam Mason here doesn't know what's going down on this channel. He's not hip with the shenanigans. So I apologize. That was not Shorty. He is not here. I can promise you
that was weird.
that was me announcing Chad Speaker's resubscription.
Oh,
Membership.
what? No super
think
chat?
it's called
I
on
didn't hear
YouTube
the
here.
super chat part.
Chad Speaker again saying he's a member for 14 months. Really, really appreciate it, Chad. Just a little joke. We're meant to have fun on this channel, Adam.
Yeah,
But
I gotcha.
yes, I get your gist on it. You are very, very firm in the sense that this player and even the guy that we got, what's the name from Atlanta? Contavious?
I got it right here. Contavious something. Contavious Street.
You think that both of these gentlemen are better than Chris Williams?
Absolutely.
I mean, did you hear that the Atlanta Hawks, the basketball team in Atlanta, they canceled their game sponsorship, whatever it is, with Magic City? Like, Dennis Allen was doing a dance on Chris Williams at the podium. He really liked that player. I'm very confused and kind of shocked for you to say that Chris Williams is just a jag like that. And I know he didn't play much. He was a defensive tackle 4, but you're adamant that these 2 signings that we got are upgrades.
That's how I
Chris
feel.
Williams?
Yeah, they both have better gap integrity. They can both penetrate the pocket better. Contavious Street, I haven't watched a ton on him yet so far, but from what I've seen, Courtney Cronin reporting and others saying, and then looking at his stats, he gets more pressure. He can generate, denting the pocket. So, we got a guy that can help fill in to help dent that pocket, and I'm sure we'll draft someone too. So,
Yeah.
what was Chris Williams ranked? Like 117th out of 120 defensive tackles last year. Like, he just did not perform for us. So potential is one thing. How they performed for us, they did not. Nobody had gap integrity on this team. Nobody filled their assignments, and we ended up having people running for 5, 6. What was our average run against us? 5.7 last year yards on a run. Like, it was worse than the league. It's terrible. So,
Yeah. Tony Moy, for the record, Adam, you are getting Tony's blessing. You can refer to that woman who is employed by Disney as my ex, if you so choose. Anyway, I hear it, and I'm struggling to figure out and kind of piece together the Dennis Allen experience here. When he's kind of doing lip service and talking about players, I wanted to believe him. Maybe this is kind of what the Bears coaching staff has adhered to, because I remember Ben Johnson talking up Dayo Odengbo. And I already told you I think that Dayo Odengbo should have been cut. He's that bad. So maybe when a coaching staff is praising a player that's lower on the depth chart, maybe that's a red flag. Maybe that's something we have to adhere to moving forward. But we definitely need
They
ahead.
wouldn't have signed Dio Dingbo to $16 million a year average if they didn't really think that he had this high upside potential. He got injured. I don't think we've seen what they want us to see out of Dio yet. There's no guarantee Dio's cut next year. Everybody's assuming that. You have to
Anyway.
you have to let it play out and see how he comes back this year, but he's not going to come back till midway through the season this year. That injury is a 9 to 12 month injury, and he had it happen in November. So at the earliest, he's probably coming back at the beginning of the season. And by rehab time, he's probably not coming back till, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, we can give some light here to True Pilgrim. He's right. I mean, the only way to put that Dale signing was horrific. It's one of those things where it's speculative, right? You probably had a bigger frame guy who had this ability to, play defensive end at a whatever level you say, high upside. And then he could also generate pressure and had his 9-sack season with Indianapolis rushing through the middle. So this versatility, and there's going to be a theme when we talk about these other players that we've signed. The versatility is probably something that Dennis Allen said, I need that. I want that. I can utilize that. The general manager obliged. And here we are with some brown stuff stuck in between the crevices of our shoe here. So we'll have to figure that out all the way to circle back to our defensive lining signings up to this point. Those players hopefully will raise the floor at the very least. Very much needed. How much can they move the needle playing next to a Jervon Dexter? Probably not very much because that player's also very, very bad.
Before you move off the defensive line here, Carl, I got to know, since I think I've got you more of a serious tone now with you hosting BCP, and I need to know, do you honestly think we're going to take a run at Maxx Crosby now that he's available again?
No, I don't. The reason I say that is because whenever I've talked about this topic, and I think I have the video footage to prove it, I think that it's always been a DJ Moore goes there, Maxx Crosby comes here. Then you figure it out from there, right?
Financially, you can still package pick 60 to make it work. I mean,
financially with DJ Moore, all these things, that's what made sense to me. Again, if you're signing Maxx Crosby and trading draft capital for him, you're extending him. And I don't know when his current extension ends or contract ends.
He signed through 29, isn't he?
Well,
he's signed for a while.
Even so, I'm not giving up any sort of draft capital that's on day one or day two of the NFL draft and only getting 2 years of service, 3 years of service. This player needs to be cost controlled. You need to build in some sort of escape hatch, all these things. I think it's just too far gone at this point. You've kind of gone a different route. It is what it is, man. So, no, I don't expect the Bears to make a run at Maxx Crosby. Whenever I've talked about this, I feel like it was always a pipe dream to begin with. Now, I just don't know what you do. And I almost feel bad for Oakland. I mean, they had a plan. They've signed a lot of players. They have a new head coach who's going to be coaching a brand new quarterback. They had a plan for their roster, and now this is kind of all put on its head.
I can't mute you because I'm on your show, but Carl, if you call Las Vegas Oakland one more time, listen, I'm a Bears fan, diehard Bears fan, but I live in Vegas. If you call Vegas Oakland one more time, we're going to come fisticuffs, okay?
Well, Adam, on Bears Country Productions, we talk about 3 teams more than any other team in the NFL, okay? Those 3 teams are what, Chad? Help me out. Ready? We talk about Oakland, we talk about St. Louis, and we talk about the Redskins. So if that's gonna upset you, go ahead and hit that little red button at the bottom. Anyway, we actually signed some other players, Adam. And this is the one, honestly, before this Maxx Crosby news, I wanted to have a show with you just on this. Because when the well, you could leave, but you can run, but you can't hide, man. So this player was kind of the one that really started the snowball, in my opinion. And a lot of Bears fans are really excited about this. I think that they have every right to be happy about the Bears signing a Super Bowl champion.
You got a super chat, just so you
know. That's right. You absolutely are right. Mr. Chad Speaker is actually going back to the well.
What? No super chats?
There you
go. Perfect. Now, Chad, I'll have you know, I did call the Hogan Johns voice line yesterday. And I during my lunch break, I called them and I said, "What? No super chats?" And then I hung up. So if that was to make the voicemail segment of their show on Thursday, don't be surprised.
That's funny.
Just saying. Now, the player that the Bears signed that everyone was excited about, Mr. Kobe Bryant. Not the Kobe Bryant. I'd call him a Kobe Bryant. I'm not very excited about this move, nor am I happy about it. Not because of the player per se, but kind of the route you're taking and the players that you're not going to be bringing back. So tell me if I'm wrong, okay? When the Bears signed Kobe Bryant,
You're wrong.
it immediately signaled that the Bears would not be bringing back Kevin Byard nor Jaquan Brisker. It nullified both of those players.
I don't know if it nullifies both. You were planning on paying Kevin Byard a large sum like this anyways, $8 to $10 million. Jaquan Brisker, I think, is having a harsh reality right now that he might not make what. So here's the thing. You hear analysts talk about what people are going to make. The league doesn't. It's the league is what someone makes is what the league is willing to pay them. Okay, so it's not it's not what every guy's out there. Nashawn Wright was supposed to make $13 million a year on a multi-year contract, right? Every team didn't see him the same way. A player with bad coverage that finally had a breakout year in Chicago. Is this trustworthy? Was it only because he was with Al Harris? I don't know. He gets a 1-year prove-it deal with the Jets. He didn't get this massive mega star. Everyone was projecting multi-year $13 million a year for him. With Jaquan Brisker, it might be the same thing. People are saying there's a lot of injury history there. Yes, 2025, he's got, he played the most snaps by any player on the Bears defense. He played every single snap. But before that, man, concussion after concussion. Is this guy going to stay healthy? Jaquan Brisker just might not be generating that $13 million a year that people were projecting. He might be generating $6 million offers. And if that's the case, you stay with what's comfortable to you. That might be why the Bears haven't filled that strong safety role at this point. And you might say, you know what, Jaquan, come back on a 1 year. We can afford $5 million. You do a prove-it deal and go get your bag after that. 2 years in a row where you've improved after coming back from multiple injuries. The league's going to see you a different way. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I think somebody's going to sign him for around $9 or $10 million for a year or two. But it's not out of the realm of possibility that Jaquan Brisker could be back. I'm just saying he could be. But yeah, Kevin Byard's probably gone.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that seems to be the case. As Steve Rogers puts in the chat that Kobe Bryant is a younger Byard. I actually kind of fully disagree. So you're going to see all these highlight films, all these hype videos, all these things of Kobe Bryant. What do I see as someone who has never played a snap in the NFL and is very untalented as far as scouting NFL personnel? I see a player who benefited from Kyler Murray being a terrible quarterback and who can tackle very well. I don't see a free safety. I see a strong safety. And I know that he has the versatility, and this is part of the reason why I'm a little bit skeptical of Kobe Bryant to begin with. I don't know what he was drafted out. I'm assuming he was drafted by Seattle. He came out of Cincinnati as a cornerback. He's not a true safety. He's a convert. So this is a player, again, Dennis Allen, we're projecting here the Deo Dengbo school of thought. Oh, he can do all these things. I can shift him around. I can be this chess piece. That's great. Can you lead the NFL in interceptions? Can you be a all-pro safety at the age of whatever Kevin Byard is? And Kevin Byard's a leader. So good for them coming to terms with the player who just won the Super Bowl and is probably a very talented player. I would have much preferred that the Bears return both Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker. And if Jaquan Brisker comes back in combination, or Kevin Byard comes back in combination with Kobe Bryant, I'm head over heels. Give me one of those guys to go with Kobe Bryant. Awesome. I just don't think that with the money that's going to Kobe Bryant at this moment in time, whether that's a small cap hit in 2026, it's going to be a lot larger in 27, 2028. It's a backloaded contract. Again, yeah, Kobe Bryant has 4 sacks last season. If that's true, Pilgrim, that's case in point. That sounds like Jaquan Brisker to me.
Carl, let's take a different approach to this. What if you just found a 26, 27-year-old has free safety range ability, who has sideline to sideline coverage skills, has 7 interceptions over the last 2 years, multiple pass breakups, doesn't allow touchdown. I mean, you've got that, but then you've got built-in strong safety ability, as in he can tackle, he can hit hard. I mean, you've got. I don't see the downside here of what you're saying because he covers just as well as Kevin Byard.
The opportunity cost. I'm not claiming that Kobe Bryant's a bad football player. I mean, the kid just helped his team win a Super Bowl. My biggest speculation and criticism of the player comes from the system, right? I know how good Zinter is. I believe that's the guy's last name. I may be misspelling the name or mispronouncing who it is. The guy who just won the Super Bowl as the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks was the defensive coordinator at Michigan. Very talented scheme, very talented coach. He can put his guys in the right spot. Pile that on top of the collection of talent around him. Tariq Woolen just got $15 million for his services, rewarded by the Eagles. The other cornerback, Devon Witherspoon, he's literally an all-pro. I know what you think of Nicky Manwari. These players are put into a good position, good scheme, a lot of talent around them, and we know how talented that defensive line is for the Seattle Seahawks too. Right? Is Kobe Bryant going to be able to hold up in coverage while Jervon Dexter is taking 7 seconds to sack the quarterback? I'm very skeptical of that.
Here's everything. I can't pull up my screen, can I, for PFF with him? Can I? I don't know.
You have to share it, and then I have to put it on the screen, which you can do. Go for it.
Let's see here.
And I'll let you know as soon as it's on the screen.
It's different being on this side.
Howie, I think that you can take the RAS score and shove it where the sun doesn't shine. I don't care about that about a pro NFL football player in year whatever, right? Year 4. The RAS score is irrelevant at this point, buddy.
There you go. This is, I guess, to answer your questions to other people too.
Can you zoom it in a little bit?
Yeah, let me go to that screen. I just same thing on my.
Yeah, true pilgrim. Kobe Bryant had 4 interceptions last year. How many against Arizona? I can tell you it's at least 2, and I can tell you that starting quarterback's not currently employed.
Okay, here's what you want to know, Carl. What do you see here from 2022, 2023 to 2024? Do you see a correlation here? 107.8 NFL passer rating, 96, then 75, 78. 3 interceptions last year, 4 interceptions this year.
Yeah,
pass breakups. What do you
as
notice?
The mastermind from Michigan started to develop the scheme, and he surrounded him with players from
Not what happened.
Laurie to Devon Witherspoon.
Not what happened. So this year, he was a cornerback who transitioned to be a slot cornerback, a nickel. This year, he transitioned to be just a pure nickel cornerback. That's all he was. Then they moved him to strong safety this year, the end of this year, and then he became a free safety. He was a free safety both these years. Look at the difference. The kid needed to move to free safety, and he's been there free safety the last 2 years, and this is the result you get. And this is one of the best NFL passer ratings to get. Safety position, that's a phenomenal NFL passer rating. So I get what you're saying. He came out of college as a cornerback. It wasn't the fit for him in the NFL. That's a common thing. Transitioning defensive backs, that's a hard transition. The NFL game is played so much different at defensive back, whether it's nickel, outside corner, safety, strong safety. It is a very different game from college to the NFL. He didn't transition well as a cornerback. What was he drafted at? I don't even remember. 4th round, 109. Okay, so he wasn't the top prospect anyways. But the Seahawks said, you know what, we're going to move you. We like your athleticism. We like you as a player. We don't like how you're fitting in the scheme. Here is when he moved to free. Let me make sure I'm right on this. So here's 2025. You see the position here, free safety, starter.
No, I need to make this exceedingly obvious as well. Whatever Chris Collinsworth's outlet is telling me he played as the position, I don't care.
Okay. Well, that's the whole point of this, Carl. This is where he excelled. So the first game in 2024, he was strong safety. Then he moved to free safety the entire season. And you can see he started as a rotational guy. Then he won the starting job over, and he excelled in it last year. I'm pretty sure 2023, he was still a nickel from what I looked at. Yeah, he was rotational nickel. Didn't even have the starting job. He didn't do great. Strong safety, nickel, didn't do great. His rookie year, getting his sea legs under him. He was a slot cornerback. He was a nickel cornerback the entire time. But then you see the big difference. This 2024 is what you need to know about Kobe Bryant right there. He started the year rotating in at strong safety. They moved him to free safety, rotating in, and he won the job over by week 7. And he excelled. He did a phenomenal job until you see last year and this year at free safety, 7 interceptions, 5 pass breakups, only 3 touchdowns allowed, and one of the best NFL pass ratings in the league. I mean, did you really take it off screen? I can't see when I'm showing all that stuff, and you took it off screen, Carl?
I was having a heart-to-heart with Marcus Jones here because Marcus Jones, 1981. I'm assuming you were born in 1981, Marcus Jones. I'll go full screen one more time. How many interceptions did you have, buddy?
This is kind of fun being on your show instead.
Yeah, again, how we are banging the drum. I appreciate your viewership more than you know. I don't care about the RAS score about a professional athlete who's established in the NFL. That's irrelevant. That's hogwash. I don't care.
I think they're making the point that it doesn't matter. He transitioned.
Here's the one thing that I can tell you that makes me excited about this signing. Backloaded contract with an escape hatch. 3-year deal. And it appears that if we were to cut him prior to June 1st in the year of 2028, $4 million dead cap. So Kobe Bryant will be here for the next 2 years. I'm certain of it. If he doesn't pan out, he doesn't pan out. You move on. You can probably find safety at that point. Whatever the case is, the good news, everyone, Kobe Bryant gets the chance to prove us, and by us, I mean Carl, is to prove me wrong. Go ahead and play some good football. Go ahead and try to win the Super Bowl with the Bears. Let's do it.
Do you know what you have, Carl? I just figured it out. You've got Bears PTSD. How did you feel when we signed Kevin Byard? I want to honestly know. I can go back and reference.
I realized that my assessment of Kevin Byard was tainted because of him being put on the Eagles. And I don't know if this is clear to you. I despise the Eagles. I hate the Eagles almost as much as Green Bay. But before then, my hate for the Eagles overshadowed how much I valued Kevin Byard and liked him when he was an all-pro year after year after year for Tennessee. That's a damn good football player, Adam. And I understand the risk of giving a lot of money to an aging veteran because if they decline, there's no coming back. I get that. So that's why I wanted it to be a package deal. Bring these two safeties back. And here's the magic part about all of this, because we're going to talk draft at some point, whether it's today or in the future. If you re-sign Brisker and you re-sign Kevin Byard, if Thieneman's there on the board at 25 and he's the best player that you are evaluating on that board in that period of time, you take Thieneman. I don't care. You take the best player available. I don't care if you sign these guys. With Kobe Bryant, though, like I said, he's going to be here the next 2 years. It would be a bit asinine to get another safety to pair with him in free agency and then draft one that high, where you could have potentially brought Brisker and Byard back for a similar amount of money. I know it'd be more.
It'd be way more.
Well, you already hit on this, right? The great, the iconic Nahshon Wright, who is a Pro Bowler and all these things. The guy that I didn't even think was, I thought he was propaganda to start the year. He made the Pro Bowl. He gets a whopping $5 million from a really bad football team. So again, these numbers that we think these guys are going to get,
interceptions,
right? It's the player's going to get what the team wants to give them, right? It only takes one team. It only takes one Ravens to say that Maxx Crosby is worth 2 firsts, when in reality he's probably only worth pick 60, right? Oh, I hope that makes sense. I'm starting to spew here a little bit, but
you're good. I don't think it's realistic to say he's only worth 60. He's going to get an offer.
Now I've got the fishing rod. It's got 2 lures on there. I'm just going crazy with it.
Yeah, you baited me in on that one. Yeah, they're going to get an offer that includes a first. What accompanies that is a real question here. Are they going to get 1 first? Are they going to get a first and a second? Or are they going to get a first and a third? I don't know. They'll get an offer for it. If there's that many people in on it. There's already phones right now. There's GMs calling and saying, "Hey, what happened? We want to have him. We want to know the details of this. We want to know what went down. How's his recovery going?" And someone will.
If KEU wants to be as bold in the chat, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, just look at where it was projected at. I mean, I don't think it's going to come in where the projection is, but
no, we're not talking about Maxx Crosby. KEU is specifically referring to my comment about how bringing back Brisker and Byard would be a very similar price tag to just Kobe Bryant alone.
Brisker and Byard.
I don't think it would be that similar. It'd probably be 150%, right? I don't know how to say it.
Brisker was projected at $13 million a year. Byard was projected at $9 million a year. That's $22 million. That's almost double. Is it going to hit there? I don't know. Well, all you can do is wait, but that's what the projection was. Maybe they hit it 18 or 19 million together, but I don't think the Bears ever intended to bring back Byard. I think we were shocked on that. I think everybody kind of expected that, but I think they were planning on going younger and faster with that position, which is exactly why they went and got Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, maybe that's the key to all of this. I mean, what's your initial reaction to both of those starting safeties for the Chicago Bears in 2025 still not being signed after 2 days of free agency in 2026?
It doesn't mean anything right now. Free agency really opens tomorrow. They could be fielding different offers for their agents.
You're saying that they personally could have already accepted an offer per se?
I think they could be trying to work out the nitty-gritty details of it. With somebody older like Kevin Byard, they might be trying to fight for more guarantees. With somebody like Jaquan Brisker, they might be trying to work out more years on it. A younger athlete wants to get that 4-year deal, and Brisker might be saying, "I don't want to take a 2-year deal." Some teams might be wanting him to take a 1 or 2 year deal with his injury history. He might be wanting a 4-year deal. With Byard, he might be wanting more guarantees and to have something that's the most solid. So I don't know if it necessarily means anything at this point. If they haven't signed somewhere by next week, it might be more. But there's some really good players that aren't signed yet. There's some really good athletes, and they don't always have a story like Trey Hendrickson's where he's not getting the value he wants. Sometimes it's just a matter of them going through the process with their agent and trying to field the best offer and get the contract details they want and get everything they want in there, escalators or different stuff. So it doesn't always mean something at this point. These are the first 2 days. They're very exhausting. I'm exhausted. My live earlier today was probably the worst show I've ever put together. It was absolutely terrible. It was like I was bumbling and fumbling and my back hurts. And if you saw Tom Pelissaro on the Insiders, he started laughing because he was messing up because he's tired. Like, I feel the same way. I've never put more work into this channel than this year. And I feel like I'm like super into it and I'm pretty connected to everything happening. And I'm trying to put a bunch of stuff up, but I'm exhausted. So the first 2 days are the most exhausting of free agency, and things will trickle from here. But there's a lot happening behind the scenes we will never have any clue of. So I don't think it necessarily means anything that Byard and Brisker aren't signed, but I do think it means Byard is not coming back here. I think that's the one clear thing that you can deduce from all that.
Okay. Fair enough. Again, I'm a big proponent of building through the draft, and if you're spending second-round draft capital, Brisker was not the first player that Ryan Poles selected. He was the second, right? Kyler Gordon into Jaquan Brisker.
Yep. 2 second-rounders that year.
Maybe not fair to say that the Bears should retain him with the injuries, all that stuff.
Well, even on top of that, it's
a
different defense now. You've got a different head coach, and
right?
You've got
this is true, but
Dennis Allen and different defensive back coach. I mean, so it's a whole different. It's not all up to Ryan Poles.
Let's not pretend that Jaquan Brisker did not play very well this season in the general sense. He proved he can stay healthy. And above all else, he looked really good, very motivated against the St. Louis Rams. And
if teams are taking just that final
him.
Playoff game, then he just had an excellent resume right there by that final game. But that's not how the whole season went.
Yeah. Again, if we're going younger, going faster, I'm not going to disagree with it. Again, I've made my case. That's why I'm sitting in this chair and not at House Hall. Again, we're not going to get into an argument with anyone here. Chet, Adam, no one. Yes, very good point for KEU. Maybe that's lost in translation for myself here as well. Any player that is brought in, whether via the draft, free agency, hell, high water, Al Harris will probably make them better. So I think that's something that we could all agree on. I want to save my fan club, the best for last, so to speak. But any other name, and I know we said we want to keep this under an hour, Adam, any other player from, we probably should talk about Braxton Jones by himself. That was one that I'm initially had a very opinionated stance on. The Bears proved me wrong yesterday, and then somehow proved me right. Because this player is coming back, another draft pick of Ryan Poles for the record, starting left tackle for how many years in a row? 2, 3, 4 years. He's going to come back at $5 million to play left tackle when Trent Williams is in a contract dispute over his $45 million he's making or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, but look at the signings happening in free agency. The offensive tackle position is not getting. There's a lot of prove-its this year. Players that were thought to go for 15, 20 million are going for 7, 8, $10 million deals. Like the tackle, what's his name? Braden Smith from the Colts. Everybody thought he would go for 10 to 15 million on the higher side, 20 million, an up and coming one that needs to prove himself still. He got a 2-year, 20 million total deal with not very much guaranteed. So it's interesting to see what's happening at left tackle right now, because I think they see this class as really a draft class to supplement that, especially the first round offensive tackles. So there's not a lot of value there.
Yeah, I agree. You're probably going to see these guys who are projects like Caden Proctor, all these things. These tackles are going to fly. They're going to go. Yep. Bears might not even have a viable option at 25 at this point. So, again, my stance on this has always been don't go into the NFL draft with an obvious need where a team can take advantage. And if things didn't go your way, God forbid, you'd be totally screwed. I think with the Bears retaining Braxton Jones, they're not totally screwed. I think he is the clear-cut on-paper starter at this juncture. My opinion on what I wanted the Bears to do was to acquire Taylor Decker. And you were very quick to dismiss that and say, nope, Taylor Decker too expensive, all these things. I think there's a way. You could have made Eminem pay for a little bit of that salary and you could have made it work, but the Bears clearly chose Braxton Jones. So sounds like you're not too upset about it either.
It's cheaper and it's prove it. I mean, so one of the questions people asked on Twitter that I clarified, you can designate those escalators to be basically not likely to happen scenario. So the Bears can do that with Braxton Jones, 10 million. So that's $5 million deal, 10 million with escalators. He basically needs to start for us. and he needs to play well. So the escalators to get him another 5, but we can push that off to next year because of his injury history. As much as everyone says he was benched, which he was, if you're watching the game against the Raiders, he was benched. But the reality was he came back from the injury too fast. They put him back on the IR, and then they basically healthy scratched him the entire season because he wasn't completely healthy. So that designation carries, and the Bears can use that designation to say, we're not going to pay this $5 million if he hits it this year. It can be pushed off to next year's salary cap. It's very smart by Ryan Poles the way he did that. So if he play, it's a win-win-win-win-win. If he plays really well for us, we're not re-signing him anyways. We've already shown we're heading the direction of Ozzie, and maybe we draft another one to develop too. Good teams keep doing that. They keep drafting offensive linemen to replace guys. If something happens, they end up stepping up and they play well. That's what good teams do. So if Braxton plays well, he's not getting a long-term contract extension here. Even if he plays extremely well, he leaves. We get a comp pick for him. He goes signs a multi-big contract somewhere else. And he gave us a good year. If he doesn't play well, he's going to get replaced but it's $5 million for a premium position. So somebody else will step in, Theo, or we'll find somebody else. $5 million sounds like a lot to me and you, and it is. It's a huge amount. That's like winning the lottery for me. I'd be elated to the moon. But for an NFL team, $5 million to try to make sure we supplement that left tackle spot, it's a really good deal. It's what we hoped for and what ended up coming about. So I think it's good.
And for tomorrow's episode, I'll probably have in the intro that exact statement that you just had compared to the exact statement you had on Braxton Jones, probably like a week after we drafted Ozzie, right? That's what I think is going to be happening here, and we'll have some fun with that. But I do agree with your sentiment. I think that at the end of the day, roundabout, all the avenues you could think of, this was the best option that the Bears had. And not to say that the Bears don't know what they had with Braxton Jones. I'll give Braxton Jones the benefit of the doubt. He came off a pretty nasty injury, probably wasn't healthy to begin the year. He did his best. They gave him his chance. He actually started the season, right? Started the first month.
But you could tell he wasn't the same player, though. I think he really rushed it back. I don't think he wasn't up to conditioning. He wasn't the best thing for him right now is if this whole offseason, now he's re-signed. Look, I know Ozzie's gone. I got to work my butt off. This is a prove-it year for me. Players typically play better under contract years. And he freaking works so he starts some squats. He gets that base under him, and he looks like a whole different player. That would be phenomenal for everybody. It would be massive. It would be great.
Yeah. Hard to disagree. Final point on that is that I was initially put off by the Bears making Braxton Jones in the moment that they needed him most against St. Louis, an inactive, healthy scratch, and they decided to go with Jordan McFadden and kick out Joe Thuney to left tackle versus just playing Braxton Jones and keeping everything else the same. So
yeah,
fair to them. Maybe the identification was that, Mr. One Trick Pony, a.k.a. Jared Verse, is very good at bull rush, and that is Braxton Jones' weakness. I don't know what to tell you beyond that. Again, a huge X's and O's, guys, here.
I like the comment by the Scrolls there. The Bears know something we don't about Braxton. Maybe he's fixed that lower body. This could be a situation where the Bears say, look, we'll give you a bunch of escalators. We want you to go freaking work your butt off. We want you in here harder than anybody else. we want you to prove it, Braxton. One of those hard sit down coach to player talks. And, maybe they see the potential there still. They've obviously used him as a starter for a couple of years, and he had moments of brilliance, especially in the run game. In the run game, he can look like a freaking tractor, man. He can blow some guys over. But that bull rush, you're right. It needs to be fixed. Get in there. Get the squats going. Fix your lower body. Let's get that base and prove it to us. $5 million is not a lot for a left tackle to do that.
And again, Adam, if this was my job, I would track every flight from Chicago to Germany and back, figure out who were on those planes, and if Braxton Jones got some stem cells, if he's doing something to really transform his body, God bless him and his family. Anyway, moving on. We're not going to talk about Devin Bush. We're going to talk about any other player that you want from the free agent signings so far speculative with the Bears. That includes Khalif Raymond. That was a fun one today. The defensive back Cam Lewis from Buffalo, that's a sneaky one who I think is going to kind of take that Nahshon Wright role. If he's forced to play, he's going to play, and he's going to play well, in my opinion. But I'll let you take the floor on this one.
But he's
Devin Bush.
He's more of a thumper. He's more of a hard. He's not a lengthy, crazy Nahshon Wright type. I think he's more of a thumper, that has good coverage ability. So I'm not super impressed by the Cam Lewis one, but that's how I felt about Nashawn Wright last year too. So you're right. It could be one of those guys that surprised you. I just see this as a depth piece who's played some special teams, not the one that gets me super excited. But I think a lot of these moves are that same thing where we knew that was going to happen. You got to bring a couple of these guys in for that backup type of role to compete and develop, and they see something in him they can develop. So I'm all in on saying Al Harris picked this guy. Great. Let's see how he does with this. And
Al Harris hopefully signed off on the player, but I think the reason he's here is again because of Dennis Allen. I alluded to this earlier.
Sure.
Your versatility, right? I'm hearing that Cam Lewis has played safety, has played outside cornerback, has played nickelback. That's exactly what Dennis Allen wants. He wants a versatile chess piece that
knife.
A player on the football field does not determine what your formation is. All these things. Just another tool for the drawer, so to speak. It's going to be a player who I'm certain will make the roster. He will play well for the Bears. It's just at what capacity? Will he be cornerback 5? Will he be the replacement to Kyler Gordon, and Kyler Gordon moves to safety? How crazy are we going to get with this Dennis Allen defense? I have no idea. But it's a player who I'm actually excited for, all things considered.
Well, I think he naturally slots in that Jonathan Owens spot as the backup strong safety as a special team.
And again, Mr. Biles, thank you for your service. Not my favorite player. Once a Packer, always a Packer. He was valuable on the special. Exactly. Yeah. He was valuable on special teams. He was just fine. And if that's what we've just signed with Cam Lewis, so be it. Happy to say it. And again, other signing that I alluded to, Khalif Raymond.
Yeah.
Am I happy about the signing? Yes. Very good player. Gave the Bears fits. Addition by subtraction, if you will. No longer have to, play against him twice a year in Detroit. He'll help the Bears 17 games, hopefully. Fantastic. I am upset that I'm nearly certain that this takes us out of the Zachariah Branch sweepstakes. It's always a pipe dream, Adam, but again, that's just my opinion on the matter.
Yeah, I think it was always a pipe dream too. I don't think we were going wide receiver that early. If anything, it might take us out of any of those top first 3 round wide receivers, which is exactly what you're talking about. But, we did interview Kevin Coleman. I don't think it's crazy to think we could, for $5 million, which his range was $3 to $6 million. Obviously, Ben Johnson knows how he fits in his offense. It's funny, the 1 year that Ben Johnson was gone, Khalif Raymond's, all his stats went down, including his punt returning. So things were run a little bit differently there. So it's kind of funny. I think Khalif Raymond knows that he fits better with Ben Johnson too. So he comes back. But to bring in a Barian Brown from LSU, speedster, or even Kevin Coleman, who we interviewed at the Combine from Missouri, it's not crazy to think that our 5th rounder, or I guess, that's not true anymore, our 4th rounder, or if we trade back and pick up a 5th or 6th rounder, one of these guys in day 3, it's not crazy to think one of them could be brought in to learn underneath Khalif Raymond, to be able to have our 6th wide receiver be a guy that learns underneath him, a speedster that can develop into a punt returner, kick returner. Khalif Raymond specifically punt return all-pro. So I think there's still an option to pick up a wide receiver, just not early in the draft like you were hoping for.
And again, I never was of the school of thought where, hey, Zachariah Branch is there in the 2nd round, draft him. No. Right. I wanted Zachariah Branch, the comp picks that we didn't get. So again, that's really the level of the pipe dream I'm talking about here. Always was never going to happen, in my opinion. It's a player who he's going to get pushed up the board because he's a wide receiver. He's good. He's fast.
It's like my Mike Washington. Like my Mike Washington for you. You like Zachariah Branch. I want Mike Washington. Yeah, sure. It's likely not going to happen, but it's what I keep, wanting in my little pipe dream. It's probably not going to happen.
I was trying to find a picture of Mr. Zachariah Branch on my phone today, and I realized I haven't been scouting the player, but I've had my eye on the player since USC days. I think he was actually at USC with Caleb Williams. I may be wrong on that.
For a year. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but this is a good football player, guys. I'm not going to tell you that he's going to be Devin Hester 2.0 because Devin Hester's a 1 of 1. He's a Hall of Famer based on his return ability. Zachariah Branch is damn good, guys. So he's going to not light the world on fire. He's going to be a good player. You're going to say, man, that Carl was right. I wish he was on the Bears. But he's going to get drafted way too high, and it just would not make sense with their current roster construction. They finally overcorrected the wide receiver dilemma they had by recouping assets for DJ Moore finally.
If he gets drafted by the Packers and turns into Matthew Golden 2.0, can we come back and say, told you, Carl, told you?
School's not out on Mr. Whatever his name is, especially. I mean, maybe the Packers know what they're doing because they're. What was Romeo Doubs? Wasn't he a day 3 pick, 4th, 5th, 6th rounder?
No, it was early. It was I think it was.
I don't know about that. Let me Google search that. All that to say, Romeo Doubs just got paid $20 million, man.
not quite 20, but yeah, you're
Yes,
right.
he did. He got a 4-year, $80 million deal.
It was 4 years, $70 million with escalators. Oh, you're right. He was eighth. He was right on the verge. He was fourth rounder. So you're right.
Right, and he was drafted in the same draft, I think, as Watson. So that's a decent enough player. I can throw this on the screen if you'd like me to.
Whatever you want. It's your show, man.
Yeah. So again, I think that this player is very, very good. He's akin to a.
I didn't know you were still sharing mine. I just looked it up.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Exactly. So again, he's making a lot of money from the Patriots, and maybe the Packers know what they're doing by overdrafting bad wide receivers to offset all the money that they would have otherwise had to pay to a lesser player. I think we've hit everything except Devin Bush at this point. Is that correct?
Yeah, you get to take the charge here, Mr. Michigan. You're very excited.
There's not much to say. There's not much to say. I mean, what's not to love about a former top 10 pick out of the University of Michigan who could make you forget about Lance Briggs? This guy's going to be our will linebacker, and he's going to kick ass for us, Adam. I need to get this out. I need to get it out in the open. Devin Bush is going to be fantastic. I sounded the alarm. I still don't know what to do with my hands at times, thinking that this player's on the Chicago Bears. I think for the role, right? I think that when we signed Tremaine Edmonds was designed to be the Mike. He did not pan out as the Mike. He was transitioned to the Will. Devin Bush might be twice as good as Tremaine Edmonds at Sam or at Will linebacker, right? The Lance Briggs role.
Over the last 2 years.
I'm very excited about this football player, Adam.
Yeah, I am too. A lot of people were worried about, before the last 2 years, but I think he found a scheme-specific role. I'm interested to see how we compare to what the Browns did. I'm very high on him, but he is short for a coverage linebacker to be only 5'11". He feels. I mean, do you have the video clip that you were sharing of him like flying through the air, grabbing his crotch as he scored a pick six? Yeah.
No, I'll get the footage of him stomping on Michigan State though.
That's funny. He's got some hops, so he's got that athleticism that they like with the Bears, and he finds a way to be right where the ball is going to be. So he's a very fun coverage linebacker to walk, and he's really transformed his career the last couple of years. I really want him to work out, but I think here's the thing on Bears Twitter that you're getting. Is it going to be him and DeMarco Jackson or him and wow, I'm having a brain fart right before us, our injured linebacker.
The fact of the matter here, Adam, is that I think regardless of the
Can you imagine
Devin Bush against the Packers, I mean, that wouldn't fly, but I can only have so many wet dreams. Devin Bush is going to be the Lance Briggs
Edwards,
of defense.
Edwards,
the question remains, and I think that this is the case. I think that they like Edwards. They wouldn't have signed him to an extension last year if they didn't like him. I don't think that Edwards is the starting linebacker to begin the 2026 NFL season. I think that DeMarco Jackson will be the green dot and the mic to start the season.
That's what I would like.
Is there a world where DeMarco Jackson plays so well that he never gives up the position? Sure. I think that as soon as Edwards is healthy, Edwards will return.
Well, Edwards is going to be healthy now. That's a 9-week injury. I mean, his injury timetable's over. He's already healthy now. Like that injury is not a long one to return from. So here's the question: Do the Bears deal TJ Edwards? He's getting older. He didn't play the same last season. TJ Edwards was not the same. His coverage was terrible. He can still tackle with the best of them. TJ Edwards is great at filling those gaps, but his coverage was terrible too. TJ Edwards doesn't look the same. And maybe I'm being harder on TJ Edwards than the rest of the fan base. Is he expendable now? Can you deal him for a pick where you can pick up a linebacker in this draft for him instead? Is that third rounder, second round? I don't think you'll get a second rounder for him. Third rounder is even a stretch, but can you get a third rounder for TJ Edwards? And if you do, I don't know, man. I think he could be. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Again, I think that the way that you're doing these contracts is hopefully going to resemble the only way to approach the NFL draft, in my opinion, which is the best player available. With your current configuration of linebackers contract-wise, if Jacob Rodriguez is the best football player on the draft board at pick 25, why wouldn't you take him? So I really don't care. I don't have any loyalty to one certain player, maybe besides Caleb Williams at this point. Jokingly, I say that. It's all about the Bears, man. You draft the best player available, and I think that that's how you get the best football players and start to win football games.
The Bears are going to have their big board.
No, I have not. Yes, they will.
Yeah, they'll have their big board, and if they feel Jacob Rodriguez is that good, I don't know if the Bears are that high on him. We'll have to wait and see. We don't know where they stand. Everyone kind of overreacts to where things move on the big boards. The Bears have proven they don't care. They don't care what everybody else says about the big boards. They'll take Shamar Turner in the second round. They'll take Ozzie Trapillo in the second round when they were third rounders. They'll take Colson Loveland at 10 when everybody else said that what's his name from Indianapolis, Tyler Warren should have gone before him. Like, they don't care. They're going to take their big board. And if Rodriguez is there at 25, if the Enemann's there at 25, if Caden McDonald, a lot of Bears fans all of a sudden don't want Caden McDonald because he's not the best bull rush, he's not the best denting the pocket, but he's one of the best run defenders in the league in college football we've seen in a long time. Nobody knows at the end of the day, but it's pretty clear that our biggest needs are defensive tackle, defensive end, and strong safety at this point. And you're right. If they love Rodriguez that much and he's there at 25, they could take him. Nobody knows until draft day what's going to happen. I would be shocked if that happens, but best player available is what this, and Brian Poles even said as much with Waddle and Sylvie at the combine. That's what he's going to do, is best player available. So
right, and again, that could be lip service. That, again, very much politician-y. That's not fact. You have to do you have to run your you have to have your media training. You have to say what's correct to not give anything away. But again, we did a whole draft series last year where we talked about what are the needs of the Chicago Bears going into this draft. We identified tight end 2. We identified wide receiver 3 or 4 as needs. But we never would have said that they should have been the first 2 players that were drafted by the Bears last year. Again, end of the day, you just draft best pick available, and I'll say within reason, right? Because if you do something stupid and you draft a quarterback at 25, I mean, it's asinine. But at the end of the day, it'd be hard to make a mistake that egregious at this point. So, Adam, I think that's all I've got. And for the folks that are in the Illinois location, please be careful. The weather by me is starting to get very, very crazy. I know someone in chat mentioned it earlier, so don't know if there's any tornadoes touching down or anything. Maybe this is my last show, everyone. I have no idea. I know a couple of you guys might want that.
It's a nice 70 degrees outside, and it's dark, Carl.
It was 70 degrees today. I went to work in shorts, and all of a sudden it's 40. So you can see that mixture of the hot and the cold is starting to put us into tornado alley, if you will. And I hope I don't put my foot in my mouth there.
There's a lot of people still asking about Maxx Crosby, Carl. Are we getting Maxx Crosby?
Okay, guys. So, again, to address the questions, is this true? And apparently Adam and Carl are the source of truth. Yes, it is true. If Adam Schefter, if Ian Rappaport, if the Oakland Raiders themselves are tweeting out that the Raiders and the Ravens trade for Maxx Crosby is off, it is off. What's the truth beyond that? Don't really think anyone knows. Do I think that the Chicago Bears have a rat's ass chance at Crosby? Sure, maybe a rat's ass chance. Beyond that, no. I really don't think the Bears ran again. And I've said this throughout the show, just to reiterate myself to end the show here. I don't think that there was ever a scenario where Maxx Crosby goes from Oakland to Chicago without DJ Moore being on the opposite flight. And DJ Moore is no longer here. Trade's not official, but yeah, I would say no. There's really no chance, and it's going to be interesting to see where Maxx Crosby ends up. We agree Maxx Crosby still will be traded this year, probably before the start of the season, but where and for what? Big question mark, and I'm happy that that's not the Bears' problem right now.
Amen, brother. It'll be fun to see how this falls out. Bears roster's filling up, though. I like the way it's filling up, but we got some big things to address still. So, yeah, I'm with you, KEU. Oakland Carl needs to let go of the Oakland.
A little salt in the wound, Adam. It never hurt anyone. It never hurt anyone.
It's kind of fun being on your show instead of my show. It's kind of interesting dynamic for me. I'm not used to it.
Yeah, it's nice to just let you talk. We'll be doing a show tomorrow. It's my understanding, guys. Same time, same place, 8 p.m. Central. We'll have the older gentlemen with more wisdom that are more calm. They'll let us know what they think about all these moves. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more moves tomorrow, if I'm being brutally honest.
Isn't tomorrow Wednesday? Is your show Wednesday or Thursday?
Oh, that's right.
I think just trying to make sure you don't give people false information.
No, you saved me, but maybe I'll have to save ass and put up another show tomorrow. I have no idea. But yes, tomorrow's the first official day of free agency. Maybe the gentleman, everyone else might want to go live. I'm not too sure. I guess final question I've got for you, Adam. Out of these alleged agreements that the Bears have with these free agents, are you confident in all of them signing? Would you feel
Yeah, I
any
don't
certain
see
type
any-
of way of them falling through? Any of
I
them?
don't see any reason that these ones would fall through. It's good depth pieces. Kobe Bryant's a great signing for the Bears with youth and his athleticism and how he's put up so far. Devin Bush, I think, is a very quality, perfect. I mean, this is a perfect Dennis Allen type of linebacker, fast, quick, hits hard. DeMarco Jackson's the same exact way. So I said so many times last season that DeMarco Jackson is Devin Bush just a year behind him and proving it. So I love that the two of them get to play together. I don't see anything falling through the Bears have done so far, but they also haven't done any mega superstar trade contracts or anything crazy. It's been very methodical by Ryan Poles. I see everything going very smooth for the Bears so far. And more than anything, I see them putting themselves in a position to compete in the NFC North again. Other teams in the NFC North are having to trim the fat. They have to make tough decisions because they're in a different place than the Bears are. The Bears are making that slow, steady progress up. And it puts us in a good position to compete. So I love it.
Everything you said is factually probably legitimately correct. But the one thing that I think you can take advantage of, and the Vikings tried this, when you're starting quarterbacks on a rookie salary, you really got to make that count. Because in the future, you're going to see exactly what's happening with the Packers, exactly what's happening with the $70 million cap hit for Jared Goff in 2026. Your talented roster starts to get depleted. It starts to, I saw this term, decay. It's the perfect term.
Unless you build through the draft, which is what
Exactly.
Ryan Poles is doing. So I don't think we're a couple years away from, I don't think our Super Bowl window is this year and next year until Caleb gets his extension. What he's doing now is putting us in place. We got a first and 2 second rounders and a third rounder this year. If he can do something to generate another one next year, like he just keeps doing it. We're going to be in a place to keep building young wide receivers, young cornerbacks, young defensive linemen, young offensive linemen. You're going to have to let a Joe Tooney go eventually. I don't see us in that same arc because we're not going crazy. We're not trading for Maxx Crosby. We're not blowing our draft capital. We got a chance here to build something long-term where we can keep supplementing. As long as we keep hitting at least a couple draft picks through the draft, we're gonna build something long term, and we're not used to that in Chicago. And I freaking love it. I think we're building up for success long term. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, amen. I won't rebuttal. I won't say anything else. Again, gentlemen, today is Tuesday, not Wednesday. So fans of the Bears Country podcast will have to wait for 2 hours, two days. Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central is when this channel will go live again. Unless something changes tomorrow, keep your notifications on if you feel so obliged. And obviously, I'm very hopeful anyone in this chat, the 126 plus viewers of you, if you're familiar with the Bears Country Productions channel, you gotta be familiar with Bear Down Sports. I will make sure to put the link for Adam's channel in the link below. Again, Adam, anything special that we can look forward to? I know that you're kind of deep in the off season here. Any sort of off season mock videos, mock drafts, anything like that?
Well, I've been doing those once every Wednesday. I don't know if I'll have one out tomorrow. I'll try. I'm really centered on just whoever we sign. I'm going to get back to my player profiles here really soon. My next one's going to be Traden Stukes. I'm really high on Traden Stukes. A lot of people are still questioning if in the chat there, I can see several people like curious of what Kobe Bryant is. He's a free safety. Like if you missed that part of the show earlier, that transition from nickel. I want to mute you, Carl. That transition to nickel to strong safety, it wasn't where he succeeded. He is a free safety. He killed it as a free safety. They won a Super Bowl with him as a free safety. We're going strong safety. Traden Stukes will be my next player profile. He's someone that I put on my first mock draft in December or January. In the 7th round, someone I saw talent in early, and then I mocked him in the 5th round, 4th round. Now he's all the way up to the 2nd, 3rd round. Ran a 4.33 at the combine. So yeah, I'm going to be doing player profiles. I'll be doing some mock drafts. I'll be doing a lot of different things. So there's a lot of players to be excited about. The draft is going to be where we supplement these main pieces left: defensive tackle, defensive end, strong safety. There's going to be some good players at those positions for the Bears to go.
Yep. And I sure hope the Bears don't get clouded with this, that, or the other, and they're able to identify the best player available at the draft selection that they hold. Maybe even if there's a player they feel it has slid too far, maybe a small little trade up. Again, we've got a little bit more assets than normal. It'll be fun. Love this time of year. And Bear Down Sports always is creating some of the best content there is as far as educating you on the draftees that you could be getting, the free agency signings, this, that, the other. So again, everyone, thank you very, very much for watching. I don't know, can I stall for a little bit to add an outro video? So I religiously watch your videos, and I will review the comments and see what everyone else is thinking. Seems like people like the new intro, but what do you feel about the new intro, Mr. Adam?
I love the new intro.
Over on Bear on
like,
Sports, that is.
I hyped it up like crazy, man. I played it in the middle of one of mine, and I showed everyone. I like the outro too. I like the 15-second one too. They're phenomenal. Carl does good work. Subscribe for Carl. Carl does great.
It took too long. Yeah, I saw that comment clip. I legitimately saw that comment clip. So yeah, we could make a fun one where Adam could use it once every fourth video, and it's got the honey bears in one of the clips. I think that'd be a fun little Easter egg. I think that might be a lot of fun. But let's see here. Can I remove this? I have to be very careful though, because the old timers they might not remember to remove this. So I'm gonna have to do this after we end the StreamYard. But Adam, I'm going to pull a plug. It's been a fantastic episode. If/when Maxx Crosby is traded to the Chicago Bears, going to call you, going to pester you. You're going to be back on the show, and we're going to eat some grass, whatever you want to say.
That sounds
Gentlemen,
phenomenal.
Thank you very, very much in the chat. If it wasn't raining cats and dogs outside, I'd do the Dan Shortino route and thank each and every single one of you in the chat. You know what? Can I do that really quickly? Yes, I can. All right, because I've got the tools, I've got the knowledge that I think chat, the other guys on the Thursday show, they don't know this. They just look at the StreamYard, right? You know that you can see the live participants in the chat when you're live in YouTube, Adam, right? Did you know that?
I did not. I don't look at YouTube. I can
see the live participants in the chat right now, which include Ampharius, Beardon 3761, Bears Country Podcast, Cliff Victoria, D. Starin, Howie R. Bears, KBC, this guy, Kink Buka World, never heard of that guy. Mr. Mayhem, Romy, Danny Scantini, Smitty Q, Steve Rogers, and True Pilgrim. You guys are legends. Really, really appreciate it. Adam, any final words before I pull the plug?
No, it's fun. Thanks for having this impromptu prop up. It's been fun because I have you on all the time. I need to give back to BCP. You guys are phenomenal, and I love Shorty. I love Foster. I love PJ, I love you. You're all good guys at BCP. So I'm very excited for this off season. Very excited for what comes next. Something's going to hit, and it's going to be like crack because the Packers can't do it. The Lions can't do it. The Vikings could, but they won't. We can do it, and we're going to have a good season. It's going to be fun.
I totally agree. Do not think that for 1 second I'm not trying to get PJ onto Bear on Sports. Again, PJ, Coach PJ, very, very busy man. That will happen. Everyone in the chat, fantastic. The lucky draw, 1, 2, 4, 3. I have no idea what the Jets just did. So we're going to save it for Thursday. Goodbye, everyone.